Excuse me. Okay.
The wide nine has a lot of times been connected with pass rush, but its roots are sort of run, stopping the run based. How can you describe how it fits stopping the run? What makes it such a good front for doing that?
Well, think about this. A lot of people associated 3-4 with stopping the run with that Sam linebacker. Go back here when the Browns were leading the league in defense in '94, and think about under defense with like Carl Banks out there and that same wide nine. What we did is we found a way to sort of play a hybrid 3-4 and play 9 technique and play wide fives to set edges. And, number one, it puts us in good position to rush the passer, but also, it sets hard edges, makes people funnel the ball back inside. It's good at taking away the outside run game. And, historically for me, you'd have to fact check me on the run stats, but I think in my 5 years in Philly combined, we were number one in run defense. I'm not 100%. I know at one time it was. I don't know if it finished that way. But we take a lot of pride in stopping the run. And if you're going to rush the passer, you better stop the run. And, you just dial it back a couple of weeks. We didn't do a great job stopping the run against the Ravens. We didn't have very many opportunities to rush the passer. So our defensive end know that. And, the combination of both of those to put teams in second and longs and third down and longs, I thought that was key to the San Fran game, was putting them in the second and long situations and make offenses predictable. When you're constantly playing 2nd and 1 to 6, the offense has you where they are. So it's all part of the same thing.
A couple of weeks ago, you talked about dealing with success. Defense is getting a lot of love nationally right now. How do you tamp it down and make sure?
Well, they don't give out any trophies for 5 weeks. I think we all know that. It's a long season. And we're going to have to survive a lot of highs and lows throughout the season. We have some experienced players. We have some experienced coaches that have been there, that know that. And I think that's one of the things that, that keeps us grounded. So, let me know when the 5-week stats are part of the tiebreaker. When they are, we'll really concentrate on that. We're trying to be good each and every game. Find a way to give ourselves a chance to win every Sunday and try to be consistent. Is the NFL, you're not always going to have a great performance every week, but we need to find a way to minimize our poor performances, minimize our poor plays, and accentuate our positives and keep our eyes on that, that destination. Sometimes you can react and overreact to short-term things. You can paddle the canoe too hard on one side and then you're adjusting and pretty soon you're just weaving and you're constantly trying to course correct instead of keeping your eye on that point in the distance and, sort of keeping yourself on the right course.
Double team rate is down from last year, a decent amount. How much of Zadarius's versatility has allowed you to kind of deploy Miles differently and get him some favorable matchups?
Yeah, it's not just Z. Z's been outstanding for us. But Obo's played a part of that, and our defensive tackles have played a part of it. I think our blitz game has played a part of it. Sometimes the sole reason that we blitz is just try to create one-on-ones. Some people are trying to blitz to try to overload protections and get free guys. And, that's all part of it too. But, things that can get, premier pass rushers in this league one-on-one, that's a good blitz in my mind. So I think it's all together. I think, us moving Miles around a little bit, the other players around him, I think the corners have a lot to do with it also, and trying to get guys out and give the quarterback more options because, they're playing tight coverage. I think it's a combination of a lot of things.
These guys showing, so much swagger and starting to really sort of build a brotherhood on the defense. How do you feel about, them calling themselves the best defense in the world and, some of the things that are going on?
Yeah, we don't shy away from expectations and things like that. And we do appreciate some confidence, and, in order to have confidence, you got to play good. That would look foolish if we're out there giving up 42 points, if we're last in the league in third down percentage and things like that, then, it just becomes, clownish behavior. But I think, a lot's being said with, if you're going to have some personality and some swagger, then you better back it up on the field. And I like our guys' ability to do that.
Dalvin, I know some of the other guys on the D-line talk about with his size, sometimes they can't believe how well he can move and pass rush and do all those things. Just what has he added for you guys, and what about his ability to move and use his hands is so special?
You talk about Dalvin? Yeah, Dalvin played extremely well this last game. He didn't fill up the stat sheet, but, stat sheet and what the tape says is two different things. He's played physical for us. He's really taken to attack. He's never really attacked this way before. He's pushed the middle of the pocket. He's had some big hits on quarterbacks and things like that. And he's also such a leader for us. You guys that have gotten to know Dalvin, I got to know him this year. I think, you're just so impressed with his demeanor, his experience, his intelligence. All those things mean an awful lot. We're really lucky to have guys like Dalvin.
That was
JK doing so well, and do you think the scheme unlocks some of his ability?
Well, dial back and first kickoff of the game. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Jeremiah did a really good job on that kickoff. And, our defense has a lot of similarities between kickoff coverage. We're sort of attacking in waves and, playing off the guys in front of you and things like that. I think those things fit Jeremiah. He's been consistent this year. There's little things that we can iron out that can get him even better. But I like what we're seeing with him so far.
How is Obo playing?
He's playing 3-2, right? I mean, we're all playing 3-2. Our defensive stats are 3-2. Everything else, and he's doing his job within. I don't want to downplay it. I just don't want to get into the whole rate everybody's play. It's not about individuals. We talked about that last week. It's about the group. It's about all 11. It's all those things, and we expect guys to do their job within the, within that, and to bring some energy to the thing, and play the run and the pass. Obo's done all of those things. When we talk about effort, it doesn't take long for you to put tape on and see great effort come from Obo. You talk about physicality. He's made some big, plays, and, he's not the biggest guy, but he's made some big plays and some physical plays for us. And he's also brought some passion and, some personality to it. So those are the things we're trying to check mark, and, we'll leave PFF to grading the players and where they rank in the league and all those things.
You talked a lot about the selflessness of this group, and Bubba was just saying that it is kind of a unique bond that guys are really buying in here. How unique is this? You've been on a lot of teams.
Well, I don't know that it's tremendously unique, but I think that, if you expect to be a good team, that's one of the things that, that's important. I think that, the person, the vibe is not a good word. The dynamic between your team is something that you can't be forced. I think that it has to come from the players. You can lead them a little bit, but, they have to take it over. And I think I told you this a long time ago, if I'm doing my job right, it looks like I'm not doing anything, because the players have taken the message and run with it, and they've policed themselves, and they provided leadership and accountability and all those things that we talk about. And we put a lot on having that accountability and having that brotherhood and things like that. I don't know if I've ever known a good team that didn't have that. I've known a lot of bad teams that didn't have it, but, I don't know, which one came first, if it was chicken or the egg, if you're good because of that, or you get that because of it. you know what I mean? Because you're good, but I've said this before, your team culture is defined by what you're like when you're at your worst, when things are the hardest, and I think that it's easy when things are going well for things to go good, but we've had a couple setbacks, and I like the way we responded. We had a setback against Baltimore, lost the game, and then had a big challenge coming in. Players responded the way we wanted them to, the way they expected to, and we came out with a win.
Jim,
We got time for one more.
you were off the sideline for the last couple of years. Are you really having fun, enjoying being back into it? You look like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to. This is, I chose to do this in my career because I tried to take the approach of, if you love what you do, you never work a day. I like being around the game. I like being around players. I like the challenge every week. I think I have something to offer to players there. So it's hard not to enjoy it. If you're, I think sometimes people can get a little cliche in this business as, hey, this is a job. You got to punch the clock, all those things. You've heard a lot of those tired cliches. And I've always in the back of my mind thought, if that's all it is to you, you're never going to be successful. Whether you're a member of the media, whether you're working down at the steel yard, whatever, you're working at the airport, if it's only a job to you, you're never going to be successful. So I try to take that in my personal life, and I hope that's a little bit contagious for the players. Okay. All right, guys.